Hello, Jefferson families. I'm J.D. Orwig, principal at Jefferson Elementary School, and I wanted to give you guys a little video this summer, right at the end of the summer, because I know the start of this school year is not going to look like school years in the past. Not when you were going to school, parents, and certainly not when your kiddos have gone to school in recent years. The pandemic has certainly changed a lot of things, so I thought this video might be a little bit helpful and maybe alleviate a little bit of anxiety as we get the school year started. I want to start right away with what the average start of the day looks like. There's a reason why I'm standing right outside the main doors right now, folks. I'm standing out here because this truly is, obviously, where students are going to start their days. Actually, bus riding students, they might start their day when they first get at Jefferson Elementary School all the way down to my left. Down to my left right now are basically the north entrance doors to Jefferson Elementary School. Bus students will have a chance to enter there, folks, because they will have already had their temperature check screening and health screening by their bus driver in the morning. So they will be able to enter some doorways right away and go to their main homeroom/classroom. However, I want to show you all this area right here. This area is very important. This is basically the main entrance at Jefferson Elementary School. This is where car riders and walkers are going to start their day this year. As they walk, car riders and walkers, as they walk to the main doors, they're going to experience some adult supervision right away. There will be anywhere from 1 to 4 adults right over my left shoulder here when the school days start next year, because by law, we need to do some temperature checks before kids come in the building. We need to do some health screenings. So some adults are going to be standing right at these doors, meeting kids every day when they enter these main doors at Jefferson Elementary School. You know, another magical thing happens when you enter the doorway at any public school in Illinois this year, folks. You're not going to see it on me right now, but by law, you'll see it on adults and students from day one on. And that, of course, are face coverings, face masks. Again, parents, they've been getting a lot of press this summer. Some parents, some students are a little bit anxious about having to wear them throughout the day. But the main thing you need to hear right now, folks, is it is the law. It's the law, and it's very, very important that we enforce the law here at Jefferson Elementary and across our district's buildings here at PES, because it certainly does help stop the spread of the coronavirus and other viruses from that matter. So you won't see me putting my mask on now because I'm talking to all of you, but kiddos, as you enter the building this year and stay inside our building, you will be wearing face coverings or a face mask throughout the entirety of your school day. Come on in, though. I want to take you to the average classroom here at Princeton Elementary this year. I'm going to actually take you down the second grade hallway, or towards the second grade hallway. We're going to go into Mrs. Anderson's classroom. Because again, pretend that you've just started your day and walked in here at the Jefferson building. If I was a second grader going to Mrs. Anderson's classroom, I'd be walking in here. I wouldn't be going to my locker right away. I wouldn't be going down to breakfast like you kids did in the past, and we're going to talk about that in a second. I would be walking right to Mrs. Anderson's classroom. Follow me in there. Here at Mrs. Anderson's classroom, if you were a second grade student, you would come, you'd find your desk right away. Remember, I said something as we were walking down the hallway. We're not going to go to our lockers right away. You will have lockers this year at Jefferson Elementary students, but in order to be safe, we're not going to have all kiddos out going to their lockers as they enter the building, because then again we'll have a lot of kids mixing together. We're really trying to avoid that for safety and contamination reasons this year at Jefferson Elementary. You'll come in here, you'll sit down, and certainly sometime in the morning, your first or second grade teacher, they're going to let you get to your locker pretty soon to take your book bag, to take your coats if it's during colder weather times and whatnot. But we're going to stagger those times out in the hallway, so again, a bunch of different classrooms at Jefferson aren't mixing. Now, another interesting thing happens once you get in your classroom in the morning this year at Jefferson, kiddos. Again, you're not going to be eating breakfast down in the gym altogether. We can't do that for contamination reasons. There will be special carts that will bring around breakfast food items between 8 and 9 o'clock in the morning. And if we skip ahead to lunchtime, which will start about 11:45 at Jefferson this year, there'll be special carts that'll bring hot lunches here to any kiddo that signed up for hot lunch meals. Now, kids, you can still bring cold lunches from home, But your breakfasts and lunches, they'll all be taking place in your classroom this year. Obviously, because we can't have a big student body lunch with 100+ kids mixing and potentially putting ourselves in a tough spot with passing around cold, flu, COVID-19 and whatnot. So we'll just be in our classrooms for both breakfast and lunch. I want to stress something as well, parents. Our day this year, as far as when the doors open at Jefferson, if you didn't see it on a sign outside our main doors in the first part of the video, I want to stress it again. The doors will officially open at 7:45 this coming school year. We can't open doors as early as we've done in the past because, again, we have to channel kids right into their main homeroom. We can't have a big area like the gymnasium to send kids to like we did in the past to all congregate together under some adult supervision. We have to limit the kids' time in the building, which of course limits our supervision time. So our day has to start as far as when the doors open at 7:45. Again, our day ends at 1 o'clock, but at the end of the day, families, if you are a parent that's going to be utilizing car riding for your kids are going to be a car rider, or the kids are walkers, you can start getting in our Jefferson loop, as they call it, out there approximately about 12:45. We will start coming out, we being the adults, myself, maybe some other teachers, we'll start coming out between 12:45 and 1 to kind of get that end of the day going for all car riding and walking students. So I just want to draw your attention to that as well. So again, lunches, breakfast will be here in this classroom, folks. I'll walk out into the hallway right now. We're not going to go down the entire hallway, but down here to my left right now is the second grade hallway, folks. And the second grade hallway is real simple. There's classrooms to my left, there's lockers on my left and right. And first grade kiddos, you're going to see something. Follow me right now. You're actually going to see that your first grade hallway, it's the same way. Jefferson Elementary School, it's really been simple as far as how it's put together. It's basically a square, parents and kids. You basically walk in a square. You've got one main second grade hallway, you've got one main first grade hallway, and the first grade hallway that I just referenced is right here. Except now I've got first grade classrooms on my right, and of course lockers on my right and left. So the building is very simple. I know kids, when you come to a new building, you see new adults, you're a little anxious, you're a little scared, it's something new to you. You're not going to get lost at Jefferson Elementary School. When you come in first thing on that first day, there's going to be tons of adults standing right where I'm standing right now to help you get to your classrooms, and then obviously the teachers from there will help you get to your lockers. Parents, before we stop the video, I want to say just a few more things as well. We're really strongly encouraging parents this year to really limit their visits to Jefferson Elementary School, as far as that goes, to schools around our entire district. We have to be sensitive even to parents coming to the doors. If you come to the doors and you need to get in to see your child or pick them up for an appointment for some reason, all adult visitors will have to wear masks. All adult visitors will have to have their temperatures checked, and a basic health screening. Just kind of keep that in mind. Because of all those policies and procedures, we're really, really, really encouraging folks to limit their visits to Jefferson as much as possible. That isn't as neighborly as we like to be, but unfortunately it's something we're really encouraging during the time of this COVID-19 pandemic. So if you could just try to limit that for us, that would be great. I would also encourage you families this year to look at a district calendar as soon as you get that in the first week or so of school. Even though we are an 8 to 1 school day this year, parents, please keep in mind that we still have a few noon dismissals. We still have a few days when students aren't coming because of teacher institutes and things like that. Those are the days that can be awkward from a transportation standpoint at the end of the day, because parents get so used to the routine of 8 to 1 this year. We're expecting you to get used to that routine. However, we will have those noon dismissals. We will occasionally have that teacher institute day. So please be advised of those and get those on your personal calendars at home as soon as possible to avoid some of those awkward transportation situations. The last thing I want to draw your attention to, just basically before I let you go, is that we are still going to have PE this year. PE will, Mrs. Etheridge will be going around to each classroom for little brief windows of time to get kids outside. Obviously, that's the safest environment for kids to be in an outdoor environment. It'll also give an opportunity to have some breaks from those masks, a little break from the masks. So please be advised of that. And that will be occurring throughout the entirety of the school year. So parents, kids, be ready to go out for PE when it's 15 degrees or above. Wear those coats, wear those mittens, wear those hats. Be ready to go out more than you have in the past. And even for little breaks with your teachers so that you can go outside, get some fresh air, get a little bit of a break from that mask that I talked about at the first part of the video. So just be advised of that right there. Bring water bottles this year. There's going to be an opportunity for you to fill your water bottles throughout the day, since we're going to try to obviously limit use of water fountains to avoid contamination. That's really, really important. And parents, you probably don't need me to tell you this, but all field trips, special after-school activities, things like that, those are all postponed or canceled at this time as well, until we can kind of turn the corner on this pandemic. Obviously, some communication will be coming from the school if some of those things can be reinstated in some fashion throughout the course of the school year. Hey, I know this is a different school year, but we're going to make it work. The Princeton community, you families, you kiddos, you've been great and flexible and understanding and patient with Princeton Elementary School District during last spring and this summer so far. We sure look forward to seeing you all again. We appreciate all that flexibility and patience you've given us. We're going to make this school year, as atypical as it is, we're going to make it a really good one this year. Look forward to seeing you. Mr. Orwig out.